Hey guys, welcome back to another video tutorial in which I'm going to be continuing from the previous challenges. So the last challenge that we did, we worked on the brackets notation, and continuing further, we're going to be working with um, accessing object properties with variable, which is a challenge 83. So let's dive into the exciting part, which is coding. Yes, you guessed that. Perfect. So we're accessing object properties with variables. Okay, object properties with variables. Cool. So another use of bracket notation on objects is to access the property which is stored as a value of a variable. Okay, so it's saying that um, the use of bracket notation on objects is to access the property which is stored as a value of a variable. So this that's the property and that's the value of the variable. Okay, and this can be very useful for iterating through an object's properties or when accessing a lookup table. So here it gives us an example of choosing a variable to access a property. Okay, so it declares a variable. So this is the variable. All right. I'm sorry about that. This is the object, and in this one, all right. So that's yep. It gives us all the variable is hunter, and variable is assigned to hunter, and then breed is assigned to my dog. Okay, and then at the end it prints out my breed, which is this value here, my dog. Okay, dogs, and then my dog, and then uh, it prints out the value of my variable. I mean the variable my breed on the dev console, which is Doberman. Okay, and another way you can use this concept is when the property's name is collected dynamically. Okay, so another way you can use this property is when the property's name is collected dynamically during the program execution as follows. So it's got some object here, and then this is the property name and the value, and then it creates a function, passes in the string str as a parameter, and then it assigns prop to the variable s, and then returns s plus the string. So var props, yep. So there's this one, passes in the variable, I mean the string is this, some problem. Now hold the value prop name. Okay, yep. So and then it will print out some prop to the dev console, which is John. Alright, so note that we do not use quotes around the variable name when using it to access the property, because we're using the value of the variable, not the name. Yeah, so we're using the variable, which is this one, and that's passed in. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is use the player name use a player number variable, which is this, to look up a player 16, this one, in the test object, using bracket notation. So we use this to look up a player. So it says they use player number variable, so we use player number variable to look up a player 16, which is this one, in test object using bracket notation. So this is going to be test object, and then we give it a parameter, and then 16. All right, yeah, that's how it should be. Code property, yep, and that should return us the value Montana, and then it says that then assign that name to the player variable. So prop player number. Yep, perfect. So see what we did there. We took the player name. I mean player name from its property, which is the player number, and assign it to the player number. So 16 here and Montana. So this part will give us an output of Montana, and then we are assigning it to the variable player number, and then we are taking the player name and assigning it to the player. Perfect. Now that should pass the test. Nope, it didn't. What did we do wrong? So I think, and let's read the description very carefully, because I think they're already too fast and I didn't really understand it. Okay, so another user bracket notation on object is to access the property which is stored as a value, this one, which is stored as the value of the variable. Okay, this can be very useful for iterating through an object's properties, or when accessing a lookup table. So this is an object. Feeder, Hunter, and Snoopy is a property, and Mutt, Doberman, and Beagle is the values of this property. So here what we're doing is in creating a MyDog variable and assigning a property to MyDog and accessing the property's value through bracket notation here, and then assigning it to my breed. So my dog will become Hunter, right? And then it's simply outputting my breed to the dev console. So I think we need to assign this one the property of 16, and then access the property through a variable which is my player number. Perfect. Let's see if that works. Hopefully it will, but yeah, you never know. It's programming. Nope. So player number. Oops, I misspelled it. Cool. Perfect and cool. Submit, and let's go to the next challenge. Oops, try maybe later. Alright, so updating object properties. Now we need to update these properties here. Okay, after you've created a JavaScript object, you can update its properties anytime, just like you would update any other variable. Okay, you can use either dot or bracket notation to update. So we need to update the properties. For example, let's look at our dog. Yep, since he's a particularly happy dog, let's change his name to Happy Camper. So here's how we update his object's name property. So our dog, there's an object's name, and then dot notation, and then the property, and then assign the value. Or we can also do it using a bracket notation as well. Right, so now when we evaluate our dog name, instead of getting Camper, we will get his new name, Happy Camper. Sure, interesting. So now it says update my dog objects name property. Let's change her name. So this property from coder to happy coder, you can use either dot or bracket notation. So previously we used dot notation in the bracket notation in the previous challenge. Now I'm gonna use dot. So that's all. This is the example and this is this setup. So now we need to change object's name. What's our object's name? My dog. And then dot notation, and then which property we want to change. Let me just make it a bit more visible for you guys. So we want to change the name property to string called happy coder. Alright, cool. So let's run this. Ta-da! Nuclear launch detected. Run, run, run to the next challenge. We don't want to die on the nuclear launch, do we? Anyway, so now this is about adding new properties to a JavaScript object. So we add new properties in the JavaScript object. You can add new properties to existing JavaScript objects the same way we would modify them. Here's how you would add bark property to our dog. Okay, so it's exactly the same way we modify it, and we can either use dot or bracket notation as well. So now it says that now when we evaluate our dog.bar, we will get his bark bow wow bow wow. Oh, that's it. Normally the dogs do bow bow, but this one made it a bit interesting. Bow wow. So now it says that add a bark property to my dog, which is this one here, and set it to a dog sound such as woof. You may use either dot or bracket notation. So what's the object? My dog dot bark, and then we sign it woof. Okay, and then we end the line. There we go. Let's test. Yay! Hyper combo finish. Yes, we did it. Next challenge, bring it on. Okay, so it says delete properties from a JavaScript object. Okay, so we're deleting it. We can also delete properties from objects like this. So I'm assuming this is a keyword. Okay, so it would be delete and then the object dot property name. So it says delete the tails property from my dog. You may use either dot or bracket notation. Now I'm gonna use a bracket notation. Interesting. Okay, so type in the keyword delete and then we want to delete tails. So that would be my dog, and the bracket notation would be, oops, the quotes have to go in the bracket notation. Tails. Let's see, yes, and we did it. Your powers combined. Yes, I feel very powerful. Now I want more power, so let's get to the next challenge. Challenge accepted, which is using objects for lookups. Interesting. So it says objects can be thought of as a key value storage. Okay, so that's the that can be a key and that can be a value. That's the key, that's the value. Okay, this is the value, this is the value. All right. So the key value storage like a dictionary, obviously. So if you have a tabular data, you can use an object to look up values rather than a switch statement or an if-else chain. Okay, so if we have a tabular data which is in a table, key value. So key say key value. All right, in this way. Then you can use an object to look up the values, as in search the values, rather than a switch statement or an if-else chain. This is most useful when you know that your input data is limited to a certain range. Okay, cool. So we can use lookup uh, rather than these two, and this is useful when we know the input is of a certain range. So here's an example of a simple reverse alphabet lookup. So it says, so 1 2 3 4 and so on and so forth are the keys, and these are the values in it. So keys are always at the left and the values are always at the right. All right, so it accesses it by choosing a bracket notation. So alpha, I need the key 2 and the value of is y. Perfect. Yep, that makes sense. So alpha, and then so this is using a variable to access the properties. Cool. So it says that convert the switch statement into an object called lookup. Okay. Use it to look up val and assign the associated string to the variable, to the return variable, result variable. So it says convert the switch statement into an object called lookup. Okay, so we convert the switch statement. So how do we convert it? Object called lookup. Alright, so this one goes as in var lookup, and then we provide use it to, and then called lookup. So alpha, case alpha, case bravo, Boston. So this would be as alpha. Yeah, break that one. I don't need that one. And then this can be bravo. Okay, Boston. Oops, there's supposed to be commas there. Okay, and then Charlie can come here, and then it's Chicago. Chicago, yep, that's done. And now I need Delta as a key, and then the value in Delta would be Denver. Oops, I forgot to put the comma there. And then Echo would be easy. Yep. Result break. That's gone there. And then Foxtrot. And we'll go to Frank. Okay, cool. So the first one is done. Okay. And into an object called lookup, which we have done already. You use it to look up val and assign the associated string to the result variable. So it's saying they use it to look up val and assign the associated string with val. Did I forget anything? So actually, so it says they use it to look up val, which is this one, and assign the associated string. So if say Charlie is passed here, then the val parameter will have Charlie, and then we need to pass we need to look up in this object and pass uh, and store the string associated with Charlie into the result variable. So in that case, we're going to do result is equal to the object, which is the one, and then the bracket notation, and then we have passed Charlie into this val. So we're going to just take val. All right, and then semicolon. Perfect. Let's check. Yay! You're on fire. Yep, we are. Let's go, 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 go to the next challenge. All right. Next one is testing objects for properties. Sometimes it's useful to check if the property of a given object exists or not. Okay. So we can use the has own property and then the property name method of objects. to determine if the object has the given property name. Has on property returns true or false if the property is found or not. Okay, so that's an example, which is the object. The properties are here, so he's finding if the property top exists or not. In this case it does, so it prints out, it will print out true, but if it says middle, then it won't print out because it doesn't exist. So now it says that modify the function check object, which is this one, to test my object for check prop. If the property is found, return the property value. If not, return not found. Cool. So we are doing if my object has has on property, and then the property name was check prop, then what we're doing, we are returning the property's value. So return my object dot check bracket notation check prop. Okay, if it's not, then we are just returning not found. Alright, let's give that a shot and see if we pass the test. No, we haven't. So check, it says that check object gift should return a pony. Gift should check object gift. Sorry, my bad. Check my object. So check object takes in a check property. Oh, sorry, my this wasn't supposed to be like this. So we have to pass in the property, this property in there, and then it should be good to go. Return. Alright. Check object. I made a mistake here, so I need to print on the value, so I will do check prop in bracket notation. Right, cool. And now if we run the test, will it pass? Yes. Submit and go to the next challenge. Exciting times, guys, isn't it? Right, next one is manipulating complex objects. Okay, so sometimes you may want to store data in a flexible data structure. A JavaScript object is one way to handle flexible data. They allow one arbitrary combinations of strings, numbers, booleans, arrays, functions, and objects. Okay, and here's an example of a complex data structures. So our music is an array that has objects in it. So artist is that one, title, release, format is another array which has CD, cassette, and LP. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And then it's got another property called gold. Okay, now this is an array which contains one object inside. Yep, which is this one here. The object has various pieces of metadata about an album. Okay, that's the information there, metadata. It also has a nested format array. If you want to add more album records, you can do this by adding records to the top level array. So here, okay, so object hold data in a property. Okay, cool, which has a key value format. So again, it's key value. In the example above, artist Daft Punk, artist Daft Punk is a property that has a key of artist and the value of punk. JavaScript object notation, which is called JSON, is a related data interchange format used to store data. So it's a data interchange format, okay, which is used to store data. Cool. So this is yep, same one. Note that you will need to place a comma after each object. So that's the object. Okay, in the array, unless it is the last object in the array. Cool. Add a new album to the my music array. So my music array. Okay, add a new album to it. Add artist and title strings, release year, number, and a format array of strings. Okay, cool. So it says that and record here. Cool. So now object creates another object, and then now we need to add artist. So a string artist. Oops, sorry. Artist, same. I would say Michael Jackson, who's my favorite artist of all times. Michael Jackson, and then title, I would say Black and White. Okay, that's one of my favorite song of his. Black. It don't matter if you're black or white. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. I sounded really ugly, isn't it? Alright, and title is done, and now the release number, release year, which is a number, say 2001. Oops. And finally, the formats, which is an array. So this one, and then array could be CD, I don't know, USB, and these are all strings, and format DVD also MP4. MP4. Perfect. Alright. That one is done. We don't need to add this. So do we have to add anything else? Yeah, there's gold. Format. Nope. That's all. Why why is this coming up? Oh, okay. Because we have to add a comma there because this is not the last object. This one is. So I think this should work now. Alright guys. Yep. I bet you're feeling on top of the world, aren't you? I'm proud of you guys, and that's it for this tutorial. And if you, as always, if you have any comments, suggestions, whatever, please feel free to uh, comment in this video, and I assure you that I will reply to every single one of you and take your suggestions into consideration into my next videos. Alright, until then, have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.